top. Unfortunately, it was clear blue skies for 2 days, as I pointed out, and for 2 months before that we had this rain that has now come back today. Just when I decided to turn the mobile on, the rain is back. So that is the white gold. Now, I'm going to show these goals, okay? I filmed them last night. When I say last night, before the sun came up and it was pitch black dark and nothing came out on the video. So I'm just going to show the goals so that those that have to choose to believe, as they say, I'll show you the window. See, there's the teddy behind the grown-up adult old doll. There's a bit of reflection, unfortunately, but that is the doll, big doll. It was in the window over here many a week ago now, a month ago probably, originally, where that toy racing car with number 1 written on it was. Just here it was. And it was in the window with this big baby doll, which they've now moved. There, see the big baby doll? It was in the window, so that doll there, this doll here, this big adult doll, I can't get it in, but it's hard with the reflection to get it in. So it's a big adult doll with a scarf around its head and it like, you know, now it was with the big baby doll and they put a big glass in front of it. Got 2 drinking bottles there as you can see. They put the glass and threw the mother doll over the glass. So as you can see, I didn't make it, you know, what I said when I filmed the video in the morning, that nothing come out because it's pitch black. There's too much reflection, but that big baby doll is reading a Bible there. That big baby doll is reading an old Bible. See? Can you see how old it is? And the page is open, they never do that. That's very collectible, I would say. Interesting. That would be a collectible book, I would say. Definitely. Yeah, it looks authentic, but I'm no expert. You probably have the artificial, technical just traffic coming on fixed in the background probably. You know, in the background, I would imagine, to distract, but either way. We've got the dolls there. See the dolls now, see? The dolls, the teddy, the 2 small children dolls, the big adult dolls, and 2 very similar dark dolls there. They look male, but they're dressed in female clothes, as you can see. Almost identical outfits. Not identical, but very similar. One looks slightly bigger than the other one, I would say. Am I not wrong there? Maybe like sisters or brothers, because the teddy's right next to them. Can you see it? There's too much reflection. So there's a teddy there next to them. There's a lot of teddies here. So there's a teddy, and they were all in the box. They're all in this box. But this baby girl there, reading what looks like an old Bible, was with this adult mother doll. And they'll both turn in this box. That was many a week ago. That was after they were in the window here. With this big drinking glass. I put this big drinking glass in front of them. But this is a display, so the fact that they that goes in the shop most these displays. So this doesn't look like anything now, that's right. They've got all the gold. They wanted me to be attracted to all those golds over there. It means something. See how the Mickey Mouse is there too, and he's thrown over. See how he's on his side, and there's all those children's dress hats. Old dress hats. They're quite old. I'd say they're 40s or 50s. Maybe 60s. I can't tell because I didn't know these dates, but old patterns. I think I've sold some of them even overnight because I filmed this yesterday in the early morning, but the shop would have been open all day. Big old Harry luggage. There's the two black dolls there with their dresses on. And there is the mother doll. Teddy, the other two. Oh. The baby doll. That's a big baby. Baby's as big as the baby. And then there's a world globe there with a teddy next to it. I don't know if that's going to come out. A very old globe. That will have to be collectible too, I would think. And up there it says F. Up there, I just read it now. I didn't notice that. I couldn't see it last night. But up there it says F. Great big F. Sorry, where is it? Am I getting it in? I don't think I am. Bungling it up. Where is it? Where is it? There! That big F says family underneath it. It says a big F in family. So look, all this window means something, but I can't fathom it. Two, I don't know. Two, I don't know. They're children's dress patterns there. See how there's children's dress patterns? See? Children? Can you see it? It's going to come out very old. It says 6 something on it, so that's like the amount. So it'll be like 6 pence or something, which is long since not part of the currency in Sydney. You know, pounds, shillings and pence were around when I was a child, and I'm 65, so figure that out for yourself how long ago. They changed over from pounds, shillings and pence into the decimal currency when I was like, you know, like a child. I remember being able to get 2 lollies for a penny when I was like a child at the shop. But they changed probably before I was probably even 12. Probably, I can't remember. You'd have to look that up for you because I didn't take much notice, you know. Okay, so the rain is back after 2 months of continual rain in Sydney and in New South Wales, I believe, too. Not that I followed it. I keep away from the news as much as I can. But it's back after 2 days of clear blue sky. It is not clear anymore, and the rain is back. So that means that a depressive personality is now dominating the climate and the weather. That's how I see it. All the rest is what I would say made up nature rubbish, so that we're not aware of what goes on, and so that we focus our attention on lost causes, or false causes, or fake causes, fake ideas, fake unbelief. Oh, he's a little doggy coming up. I wonder if I can film him. Oh, he's a little sausage dog. Oh, he's a little kitty. Look. Here we go. Oh, little kitty. Can I film you a little kitty? Oh, it's up. Oh. Hello. You're a little sausage dog, aren't you? Oh, he doesn't like me. Oh, what a pity. Oh, I like him, but he doesn't like me. That's the way it goes. A little black sausage dog. I'm very attracted to those little sausage dogs. You don't see many of them, but around Leichhardt, since I noticed one, maybe 6-8 months ago, yes, they have an amazing amount of buses with core brakes around Leichhardt, and they just happen to fail right in front of me. But that's sad that the little dog is fighting like me, because I like it. But that's the way it goes, it's life, as they say. Or is it? Or is it just a misunderstanding, not realising what likes you and what doesn't? Maybe I like the little sausage dog more than its owner for all it knows. Who knows? That's funny, isn't it? Not funny at all, actually. I'm favourite up here. I just would like to show that the dolls are real in the window, that because it was pitch black, and, if I'm making a video talking about dolls and trying to make some sort of reality out of these images, as though it's trying to tell me something, like the book, but I can't show the dolls, I look even more ridiculous than what I actually am, even. So there's the button jars that I was talking about. Mickey Mouse is over on his back. I don't know what... Mickey Mouse means something. But I'm not sure what. I'm told, I think I've rolled up here now. And be lucky to get back without getting wet by the look of it. These are supposed to be the new blue quiet buses. But the Matrix has to prove that it is genuinely concerned about everything. So I made a point that the buses are old and very noisy. Of course they are deliberately noisy. They were always old, but they never made the noise they made over the last few years. So it's not about being old, and this breathe easy business with these new buses that are supposed to be so environmentally friendly. It's just all part of the game, the Matrix game. It's all a big game. A big hoax, really, you could say. That word just comes from big hoax. So it's a big hoax. Big hoax. Because that, if they think that people are waking up, then they have to sidetrack you with, because sometimes, like myself, you'll only wake up to something, so then they'll sidetrack you thinking that you're doing the right thing by focusing on a false reality or false issues in a fake artificial reality. In other words, you might falsely focus on a natural reality when everything around is technical and artificial, because you think that it's the real world. Because you think that it's the real world, a real natural world. And so then you become like, it's spiritual and it's natural, so therefore you think you are correct in focusing on a natural world. There's nothing natural about this reality. Nothing at all. It's just a few in amongst massive numbers of technical beings that are in human form. There is very few natural, real, spiritual human beings in existence anymore. and probably never were in large numbers. I now think so, but I don't know if that's true. I could be wrong, but it matters not, because the reality is now is that either larger numbers of real spiritual human beings have been eliminated from the reality, more or less, whichever way you want to look at it, departed, whatever, by any means that you might imagine. I would imagine that, from my own experience, that it ain't no accident. Certainly I don't seem to be allowed to live out my final years in any sort of natural peace or reality. Another speaker, right? I don't know whether the negative noises of the individual vehicles come out on the mobile. They certainly come out to the human ear. And if I'm not filming, they have no problems with that. But it's just basically to control you, to make you realise that you don't have any freedom and that you are surrounded by all this negative, artificial, possessed people that also drive all these vehicles. But are the vehicles really what they even appear to be? Sometimes I see them as, because don't forget the human being, probably, I know myself, like I try desperately to keep the reality real. So my thinking is always trying to keep it as real and as plausible as possible. Because, I probably couldn't deal with seeing what these beings really are, or seeing how dark their mindset is. The physical sometimes represents the mental, so, like what I see is a negative force around me. See how it's all slowing up in front of me? Now, it doesn't matter whether there's rational explanations or not for this reality. It doesn't matter. What I see and what I can see is the real reality. But because they can't come out and show their true colours, because it is a game of deception as well as suppression, it's a deceptive suppression. That was clever of me, wasn't it? It's a deceptive suppression. Even though we have all massive numbers, because they know that the human being really is the true life, and therefore the real, the thinking that creates a lot of the reality, even the matrix. As I said, like the matrix is controlled. The matrix itself is controlled by the technical matrix artificial being, God. God in the sense that it controls the human being through it, by these massive numbers of artificial people posing as real humans, because they download all the human thinking and emotion and then projected outwardly. So everything I'm saying and doing is projected by most other artificial technical beings. And that's the game of deception, while I am being suppressed, while the real normal human beings that don't desire to be negative 24 hours a day like these dark entities are and do, they only vibrate at a low level. They don't vibrate positively at all. Not at all. And their game is to pretend to vibrate at a high level, pretend to be a real human being, while really keeping the low frequency artificial matrix in full swing, functioning. Because they will control the real life. You know, you'll probably be married to a technical, artificial person, and you'll think it is a real person. You'll wonder sometimes why you don't feel as good as what you would like to, and you'll never suspect that it's because of your relationship, your personal relationship. Because they may or may not expose their genuine dislike and contempt for you, and their negative intention towards you. They are controlled artificial machine beings that seek to control the human being so that they control the reality, or the technical matrix, if you like, because this is a technical matrix reality. It's not a natural life. It's not. And the fact that all those vehicles are here only to surround me, spewing out all their petrol fumes probably all over me for no purpose, not going anywhere, not doing anything at all except surrounding me. That is what it is. Whereas if you thought that these were all like real people, you know, just getting about their business, trying to survive in a natural world, because we're aware that we have systems in place even in the natural world. But if you knew that this was all false, and that most are not your kind at all, and that even if there was one amongst them that was, you wouldn't recognise the difference. How can I tell the difference between that one there and myself or anyone else? Especially when they are downloading the real person's consciousness and unconsciousness and everything else to where they can act out and fake being a real life person. Better sometimes than the real person, because we are supposed to where we're depressed and negative in our emotions because we're surrounded by this deceptive, covert, negative artificial matrix, while the artificial ones that are part of all this are faking being real life. And positive real life at that. They don't show what their intentions are. They do the opposite. They're like, they're in the negative, destructive mode of thinking. But they are like actors that play a soft-hearted, spiritual character, shall we say. If you want to put it that way, that is basically the game. And that is why we're losing this reality. Because we're stuck in amongst it and we do not really have much hope of, you know, playing at any sort of potential in it for those reasons. I don't know if I put that right. I'm going to fold up and have to get through this rain down the road there back home. You know, you go back home from wet weather, surrounded by stalking, controlling, possessed artificial vehicles everywhere you look. And on foot too, everywhere you go. They're not making noise today. I'm only up here on the traffic, but there will be they won't have an excuse to have the artificial workmen everywhere making a noise everywhere you walk, you know. But you go home, what a joke, home to a house, you know, where you at least have shelter from the rain, but you're hit with negative technical energy 24/7. You know, and their presence is made around you too by the neighbours and the people around. You know, so, you know, and you don't have any real friends in the actual reality. Like that you can actually communicate with to try to at least sidetrack you from this negative artificial reality. So that's the way it is. And that's it. That is it. Sometimes when you look into the eyes of these people, when you look past the block, you can spot it a little bit. But not a lot. Cold and wet. And the rain is back. Here comes the rain again. Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a tragedy, tearing me apart like a new emotion. Okay, because as a human being, that's exactly what it is for us. You know, because the positive emotion will tear a human being apart because we're not used to it. We've been living in this artificial emotion for most of our lives. We don't know how to even deal with our own positive emotions. And that's why these lots, despite appearances, have one this reality from us. It's their reality, not ours. We don't even have our own mind. We have nothing.